Google. Let's go get them again.
What's going on, fragrance family? Welcome to another unboxing first impression video on my channel. Today we are delving into the brand of Creed. And with a lot of these unboxing first impression videos, sometimes it's not an unboxing, it's just a tester. I can't really unbox it, but it is a first impression. And sometimes it's not a first impression, but I unbox it because I've already sampled the scent. This is a true blue unboxing first impression on my channel. I've never smelt this fragrance, I've never sampled it. And we don't have a Creed boutique available to me. So I'm really excited about this particular unboxing. I hear good things about this release. Now, the brand of Creed, and I'm going back here, they've been very quiet the past few years. You know, ever since they got purchased, it seems like it's been not steadily releasing fragrances. And I've been quiet about the brand because there's nothing really to speak about. My last purchase of the brand was, of course, Viking, which I felt at the time was very much underappreciated by the fragrance community on YouTube. But since I launched my video on Viking saying, hey guys, not that bad, it feels like the community on YouTube has changed its tune on Viking. I'm happy to hear about that because it's actually a really good scent from the brand. Now, as you know, I'm unboxing Aventus Cologne here today. The gray box, the gray bottle. And as it seems to me, in the men's aisle, Creed, all they've been doing is cologne versions. And I don't mean like cologne in concentration. This, I believe, is an EDP like the rest of the fragrances. I might be wrong. No, it is an EDP. It's not a cologne EDC. But I feel like they're using that word as a fresher version of. And they did Aventus, and of course they did Viking. So they're newer releases. So they're kind of getting away. Not that the other ones need fresher versions, like Virgin Island Water, Green Irish Tweed, Municipal Imperial, all those are fresh enough. So fair enough. Now, as you know, I'm the biggest Aventus fan. I'm not, if you didn't know. I do own two bottles. I actually own two 4-ounce bottles. Most of my, like 99% of my collection is 4-ounce bottles. I'm that guy. I only have 100 ml bottle of Creed in my whole collection. It's gonna be 2 now, and it's only Viking and now the Aventus Cologne. So I have the original Aventus, but I decided to blind buy Aventus Cologne just for funsies. Because, again, Aventus is a good release. And I push it down a little bit, just saying, whoa, calm your nerves here. But I think personally, if you strip down the original Aventus, which I think this is what this is, and focus on the fresh parts, and that's what Creed's bread and butter is, right? Green Irish Tweed, Virgin Island Water, Municipal Imperial, Rolfa, among others. They're better scents or fresher scents. That's what they're known for. They don't have too many dark scents in their rotation anyway. So I think, you know, Aventus to me, even though you can arguably say it's a fresher scent, I feel it's an all-season scent. And I feel like it actually does better in the tweener seasons, like the springs and the falls, because the weather fluctuates in those seasons, and it does really well in those seasons. But it's in every season. But can they make that DNA in more of a fresher version just for maybe summer and spring? And that was the reason why I blind bought this, because those seasons are coming up now in Canada. So I was kind of itching for a new Creed, and it was either Viking Cologne or this. I might even get both within the next 5 to 6 months. I don't know. We'll see. But what kind of world are we living in now? Because, you know, Amouage is making flankers, and now Creed's making flankers. Like, since when? Since when did niche brands start being like designer brands, honestly? And that's a whole video on its own, because niche brands have been purchased by these big brands, and now they're starting to feel like, oh, this is the money maker, let's make a flanker of the money maker. So again, cologne doesn't mean concentration, it just means I feel it's going to be a fresher version of the original. So I can't wait to delve into it. Before we do that, on to our sponsor of the day, beautifulfragrancex.com. Do want to take the time to thank fragrancex.com. You can get a bottle of a lot of the Creeds, especially the fresher ones. Get them before they're hot. Virgin Island water, that one, which one? Himalaya, Aventus is usually semi-imperial. They get sold out on these sites once the spring comes in. I've noticed that, and even this one. So check out Fragrance X. Support me by utilizing my coupon code, which is my channel name, Robes08, and you get 15% off on their website. Not just this, but you can purchase whatever you want, small or as big of a haul as you want. I certainly appreciate it. Now let's get back to Aventus Cologne, and let's unbox this one. Let's talk about, and again, some subtle changes to Creed fragrances is that they now have cellophane on their boxes, which I don't think they were doing that. Not back in the day, definitely not. But I haven't bought a Creed in a while, so I don't know when that change happened. And of course, the smaller bottle sizes. Remember when there were 120 and 75 mil? Wasn't that a nice time? Now, I already know this is a older bottle version because the newer bottles come with, I believe, metal caps and one piece of paper, not two, but we'll take it, which is nice to have an older bottle, I think. Personally, I get the gray cap here. Nice 100 mil Aventus Cologne. There she is. Beautiful bottle. I like their design. And we got the plastic cap. So let's delve into it. I'm going to give my first impression. It is, of course, my scent of the day today because I'm going to be wearing it. So let's, Creed Atomizer is still good. Yeah, still real good. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Already in the air. It smells like Aventus, so it's not losing that Aventus DNA. I don't even have to smell my arm. Oh yeah, fresher. Oh, up close, very fresh, very authentic, as a lot of Creeds do. Very fruity. Mandarin. The mandarin itself, very vibrant. And it's the first thing that that came to my eyes is, oh yeah, that mandarin's beautiful. Bergamot in that ginger. So, you know, once you pair citruses with ginger, they just sparkle a little bit more. And fresh, bright, uplifting, great citrus up top, as Creed is known for. So, but again, you feel that Aventus DNA in the background. That birch, that bergamot's there. Yeah. Yeah, more of a, okay, so now it's starting to morph more into a creamy version of the citruses. It was very thin and bright. Now it's more creamy, but still sparkling. There's a little bit of bite here, a little bit of a spicy kick, like maybe a pink pepper, black pepper, something peppery. But definitely has that Aventus DNA now, not smoky. And not pineapple-y, really. It doesn't give me those vibes, but it really gives me that whole bucket of that Aventus DNA in the background. Like it almost has that, I feel like that black currant is still there, that apple. You know, it feels like, man, some vanillic tendencies too. Not smoky at all, of course not. There shouldn't be. There is still birch in here, but no smoke. Yeah, so at the end of the day, that very bright, that very bright citrus opening is beautiful, unfiltered. It just feels very thin, and it's something that just Creed is known for. Then it just takes another step, like it feels like that Aventus DNA is always in the background. It feels like it's unmistakable that it is Creed Aventus in the back end of the release. No real, and I may be wrong, no real pineapple feel here. I feel like the mandarin is the top dog, the ginger's right behind it, and and it just gives it that sparkling feel. There's some pink pepper to spice it up just enough. Yeah. But then there's that, I feel like the blackcurrant vanillic tendencies are a little bit back there. And that's where I'm getting that creaminess from that vanillic tendency. I might be wrong that there's no vanilla at all in here, but I'm really sensing it. And that ginger is really nice in here. So at the end of the day, comparing this to Aventus, it is at least to me, it's thinner up top. It definitely is thinner. Do I feel like it's a thinner, fresher fragrance? Well, I'm gonna have to wear it a little bit more. An initial impression is just the top notes. Once those top notes kind of burned off a little bit on my arm here, I'm feeling some depth in the fragrance. So it's not very, it goes thin, but then there's already layer upon layer, like that Aventus DNA starts coming in. Now there's some pink pepper coming in, giving it some spice, some oomph. So it's definitely has some thickness to it, which a lot of these creeds, including Aventus, they have a backbone to them to give them much more longevity personally. They're a little more interesting than just a really thin release. But that thinness went so fast, like on fragrances like a Virgin Island Water and Rolfa and Millesime Imperiale, it feels like they lasted a little longer, the thinness of the opening. Here, it felt like it just left. And now you're already into the heart and you're starting to see the full-fledged fragrance. So at the end of the day, Aventus DNA isn't my favorite. It really isn't. And this is showing a lot of it in the back end. I really like that opening because it was popping, it was vibrant, the ginger and the mandarin, very thin, watery. I really like the thinness of some of the creeds that I love in my fragrance channel, right? I love Green Irish Tweed. I love Virgin Island Water. They're in my top list. Millesime Imperiale, they have that thinness. They're not complex fragrances. Rolfa is actually pretty complex for a thinner scent. But those are the fragrances that you just do it right and very simplistic. Here, yeah, it still has that Aventus DNA that doesn't sit with me very well. It's good. It's just not great. It doesn't pop. But it had a little bit of limelight in this release, Aventus Cologne, for me. So I can't wait to wear it more in the warmer months. And I feel that's where it's going to shine or not. We'll see. But I feel like that initial blast that, when I got excited, I was like, oh, they're really thin. They're not thin anymore. There's definitely that pink pepper just roughing things up a little bit, but that Aventus backbone is still there in this release. So I can't wait, and I know this is going to be, I think, a slow burn for me. There is some fragrances out there in the Creed DNA that it took me a while to really like. Royal Oud comes into play in that sort of Viking, same thing. It took me a little bit of time to test it out. And then I started enjoying it a lot more. So we'll see with Aventus Cologne. Now that you heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. This is, again, a fragrance that has a lot of haters. It has some lovers on the internet, which it's good to see. Popular to hate on Creed right now, of course, pricing and everything that's going on with the brand. I'm happy I got one of the gray caps. I actually kind of like that more. It gives it a little more personality, even though it's not a metal cap, it's a plastic cap. But Aventus Cologne, I can't wait to see your comments below. And as always, a great import fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your fresh scent wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube.